Jamie chose not to go outside because she's ready for work and it's too hot out there. So instead, we have to deal with Mr. Hank. Hank, you're going to get hair in my coffee. Hank.
He doesn't care about hair.
Hank.
He was backed up. What you got there? What you got going on? Like, why? We just spent the whole night with him.
Morning folks, Lester here, and today we're going to continue with our pond pasture cleanup in preparations for our upcoming cardboard boat race. Let me turn my camera around and show you my plans for today. So I'm going to be working here in the pond pasture. I will come with my tractor and I'll repile my burn pile. There's a few things I want to try to clean up with the use of fire, which everyone knows how much I love to make fires. So that's one job. And then secondly, I am going to come out with that pond color and put a little, we're going to change the color up a little bit. We're going to make it into kind of a blue instead of this pea green that we don't really care for very much. This is a very natural look, and so we're okay with the natural look, but we kind of just have a preference for the blue. And so we're going to try that. And then lastly, I'll take my tractor and I'm going to try to come by and back up with the bush hog and knock down some of these high weeds. We could not cut these because they were too thick to use my weed eater. They were kept cutting through my string. And so I'll back my tractor up and try to lower that bush hog down on top of them and cut some of this over here out of the way. And then I'm going to also go down by the road and run the bush hog around some of the high grass. So several things going on. You guys come on and join us. It'll be a lot of fun. Well, okay, it's not a lot of fun, y'all. It's not a lot of fun, but it is funner and gooder doing things with those you love and care about. And you guys are the ones we love and care about. And so for you, just come with me. So there is an ideal height that you want your pasture grass to be. It can't be too high. I'll explain why. And at the same time, it cannot be too low. Yeah, you cannot cut it too low. So a lot of people may wonder, they may ask, Lester, why would you cut your grass? If you have horses, you have your donkeys, why would you want to come here and cut it? Why don't you let your animals do all of that for you? And the answer is pretty simple. I want you to think for a minute. Imagine yourself wearing a pair of boxing gloves. You have boxing gloves and you're asked to pick up a couple of coins off the ground. Now, you all know with your fingers, you can reach down very easily and pick up those coins or pick up those rocks, whatever you need. But with boxing gloves on, because it's so thick on the ends, you're not going to be able to manipulate hardly anything. In saying so, picture the mouth of a horse, a donkey, a cow. Friends, they have so much gum right there in the front of their mouth. It's similar to wearing a boxing glove. They can only reach down and pick up what they want to pick up from so far down. You can't get to the ground level to grab grass. They have to grab grass at about 4 or 5 inches. In saying so, that's the preferred length of your grass for cows and horses, 4 to 5 inches. Secondly, when your grass is too high, it allows lots of parasites and different kinds of bugs to live in the grass. Which is why you see all these white birds flying around. These egrets know that when you come by to mow and you knock all these high stuff down, they can pick out of the grass all the other things that they want to eat, which includes ticks and fleas and mites and red bugs and you name it. Lastly, there may be more than one other reason, but all of these weeds that grow end up choking out your grass. If you can take these weeds and knock them out, it allows the good grass to grow in its place. And what you want to have is your good thick grass, the grazing grasses, to take over your weeds. And so there's multiple reasons. Also, high grass is tough. If you ever notice your horses and cows eating, they'll sometimes put their face down into the high grass and they're eating the grasses at around the 4 or 5 inch line. The grass there's a lot more tender and easy for them to chew and digest. High grasses is hard. It's rough. I guess it's maybe sun scorched, and it's just not as easy to eat here, not as delectable as what it is around this range right over here. So we do have to come by once in a while and, I don't want to say play God, but we just kind of keep our pastures nice and clean and leveled right about the 4, 5, maybe even 6 inch line. And if you're wondering how I know how tall it is, guys, your tractor has a gauge on it that tells you how many inches your blade is set for. And right now we're riding right there at the 5 inch line. So my grass over here is a nice 5 inches, and that goes across the entire pasture here that I've already mowed. Whereas over here, you can see easily we got weeds and just all kinds of trash growing up through here. Last thing I'll say, picture yourself when you've walked out into your yard, if you haven't mowed in a while. Walking in the high grass is, you're a lot more prone to find things that you don't want to find. Snakes in particular, this is the thing I think about. Field mice, other kinds of things that may live in the high grass that you want to avoid living there. So, as you can see, there's a reason. It's not just because it's prettier when it's nicely manicured, but it's also better for your animals. Well, friends, the pastures are all mowed. I've done just about all I can do with the mower on the tractor there, and we've already weed-eated around the pond as well. Now, we're going to add us some color. This is going to be called Blue Bayou Lake and Pond Colorant. Now, guys, don't forget, this is just kind of an aqua shade. It is not toxic. Nothing's going to die because of the coloring. Instead, it's going to put a nice, beautiful color of blue across our water, which will allow less sunlight to penetrate, which will have less algae growing inside the pond, which will make it a lot more beautiful. We're going to add that right now. All right, so the wind is blowing from the west to the east today. So what I'm going to do is walk along the edge of the pond over here, and the wind will kind of push the colorant all across to the other side. You gotta be careful with this stuff because it will stain. And you don't have to put it real thick. We'll use an entire bottle. But this is all we're gonna do here is walk along this bank, and we'll let the wind, Mother Nature, do all the spreading for us. All right, and that's all we got. There's a gallon. Well, folks, Folks, I want to thank y'all for watching. It's always funner and gooder doing things with people you love and care about. And with that being said, this is funner and gooder. Thank y'all for watching, and we will catch you guys on the next video.
Don't let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Lester.
Yeah, something like that.